America. My name is William Garlington, and welcome to ConservativesViewpoint.com. Today is December the 30th, a Thursday, 2010. Just a couple of more days before the end of this year, and we bring in a new year. So for those Americans out there, Happy New Year and be safe. But if you've been following this program, we are concluding our 6th week in discussing conservative values. And our mission statement, and this mission statement will continue all the way up through November of 2012, is to help educate, help inform as many Americans as we can when it comes to conservative values, while we try to either destroy or eliminate liberalism within America. So we welcome all Americans, especially those liberals and conservatives. And again, this is Thursday. We are concluding a 2-week process called the Top 10 Domestic Issues in America that are important to this website. And we're going to combine 2 issues to conclude our 2-week process, because tomorrow on New Year's Eve, which is on Friday, we come at you with a tale of the tape where we feature one conservative versus one liberal, and we go at it. But I want to start this program on 2 fronts here. I want to start by apologizing to some folks out there of what I have said on past broadcasts. It has come to my attention that some of these folks were offended, and I just want to simply apologize up front. It is never my intention to offend anyone, but I am not going to apologize or take a back seat on what I view is very important to this country and to America, and that is conservatism. So what this means is I offended a couple of listeners throughout the 6-week process, and hopefully this will be my last apology on air. But it was concerning some curse words, and I consider myself a Christian. It's a work in progress. Just because you're a Christian does not make you perfect. Only Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, is the only one who is and will ever be perfect. But there are some things that I possibly said that offended those folks, and so I deeply apologize for that. It is definitely a habit, and again, we move forward. And then secondly, what do I want to address is folks are telling me out there that I don't look conservative enough, that I speak the game, but I come across as this wild banshee hippie type guy, and I'm far removed from that wild type hippie banshee type of person. I represent my values, which are Christian, and like I said, it's a work in progress. I am not perfect, but the way you look is not who you may be. So don't ever judge a book by its cover, because this person who wears his hair a little longer than most, who has a beard, where the type of politician out there is like a Ken or a Barbie, don't throw that, because looks can be deceiving. I'm very much a conservative and will continue to sprout my views on conservatism while I look the way I do. So get beyond the look. Listen to the rhetoric. If you agree with conservative values, then I need you to help me, to help America move this program forward to the biggies out there, the Limbaughs and the Becks and the O'Reillys of the world, but also to grassroots America, who is going to change the face of this nation. It's not going to be Limbaugh, it's not going to be Beck, it's not going to be me, it's going to be you. And you have to take hold. You've got to get a fire in your belly, and you've got to say, you know what? I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to make a difference. Okay, so before we get into our topic, we always start this program, or we try to start this program, by just educating those Americans who liberals are, and liberals, about 95%, are involved within the Democratic Party. So if you run into a Democrat, you can probably presume that this person is either liberal or they're just misinformed. And if they're misinformed, even if they're liberal, bring them to this site, because conservatives are not about control. No, 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 no. This man is about control. Nancy Pelosi is about control. Hillary Clinton's about control. This man wants to control you and I, because it gives them power. And how they get the power is by doling out handouts and entitlement programs like universal health care. And so when people are down and out, or the have-nots, and they don't understand, well, they appreciate the help from the federal government, but all it's doing, people, is fueling this man and that party's power so that they can keep us all in bondage and chains. And America is where you can be a zero and then become a hero just by hard work and determination and passion. And here at The Point, that's what we want to try to do. Today is our last day of a 2-week process called the 10 Most Important Domestic Issues to This Website. And we're going to conclude it by combining two categories. And they are the election/political parties process and then home ownership. All right, what I did on the web was look up some interesting facts. I knew that there was a lot of political parties over the 230 plus years this country has been in existence. But I did not know how many there have been. There have been 118 total political parties beginning in America till now. There are currently 28 active political parties, and there's 23 inactive political parties, and then 67 of those parties of the 118 have just gone away. The Liberty Party went away in 1848. The American Party, also known as the Know Nothing Party, went away in 1858. That could have been a bunch of liberals because they only lasted 4 years. The Liberal Republican Party lasted 1 year. Now that's an oxymoron. The Liberal Republican Party. Well, we have some Republicans that say they are conservative or moderate, but they are downright liberal, and there two of them come to mind, Collins and Olympia Snowe, both senators from Maine. And then we had the National Women's Party, the Dixiecrat Party, or also the States' Right Democratic Party, the Vegetarian Party, the American Nazi Party, and the People's Party, just to name a few of those 67 that have come and gone. Now, inactive, 23 inactive parties, Freedom Socialist Party and the Libertarian National Socialist Green Party. All right, the last one they had run was in 1997. But the 28 active parties are the Communist Party of the United States of America, the Florida Whig Party, the Socialist Party, the Workers' Party. But you and I, America, knows of the two-party system, and they are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And back in the day of George Washington, political parties were formed. And yes, there have been many parties, but two have been really going at it. The Republican Party since 1856 and the Democratic Party since 1828. And we've got lots of Republicans and lots of Democrats, and I do believe in a two-party system. We've got women in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. We've got young and Asian in both parties. We've got senior citizens in both parties. We've got black, we've got Latino in both parties. We've got a mixture of Americans who feel that America is strong and good, and then we've got people that feel America is weak and bad in both parties. So the two-party system has always been around, and I believe in the two-party system. However, here at The Point, we do not support a political party, nor do we support a political candidate. Who we support are people that are conservative. Those people that are fiscally conservative and those people that are socially conservative. Give you an examples. People that want lower government, lower taxes, free enterprise, capitalism, on the fiscal side, and on the social side, they believe in creating their own wealth, i.e. drilling offshore to create some energy, being the forerunners like we've always been when it comes to arms, and when it comes to defense, and when it comes to space. This is America that we feel is the America and the conservative Americans, ones who feel that we are founded on Christian beliefs, that Christian values should take and be the stable mark within America, and all these other religions, good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter, they should take a back seat. Doesn't mean that each American cannot worship in his or own way, but you cannot destroy the playbook that was founded back in 1776, and it was based upon Christian values. You've got to have a crux, a core, a starting point, and it all begins with Christian values. So bringing back prayer in public schools, bringing back Christian thought on public buildings and currency, and having limitations on public radio and public television and public places where they desecrate Jesus and Mary and the cross. That should be eliminated, because what you're doing is you're slapping your own coach, your general manager, and your owner in the face and saying, we don't care about you. America is our team. We are Americans. If you don't like America, then you can leave America. And again, I'm not going to apologize for what I just said. So I believe in conservatism, conservative people. So if you want to be a conservative on the Democratic side, jump over and come to the Republican side. Because eventually, this site wants to ditz or eliminate the Republican Party. Great party, but it needs to be eliminated, and we need a new party called the Conservative Party. There was not one conservative party in this long list of 118 political parties in the historical archives of the United States of America. Not one. Conservatism is the way we ought to be headed. And I want you, America, out there to get tough and to make it happen. Jump to home ownership in the United States, because this is a two-part series. I looked up on the web. Home ownership in 2009 remains similar to that in other post-industrial nations, with about 67-68% of people that are living in housing own their own home. But since 1960, the home ownership rate in the United States has remained relatively stable, increasing about 5.6% since 1960, with a 62.1% average. However, home owner equity has fallen steadily since World War II and is now less than 50% of the value of homes on average. What that means, people, we are buying homes that are costing and are way out there, and it's been happening since World War II in the long short of it. It's way before the Barney Frank and the Chris Dodd debacle of Freddie and Fannie, okay? It's all before that. But I'm telling you, things have run amok. Everybody ought to have their own home. But, as in reality, if you cannot afford a home, hopefully housing, fair housing, which we have on the books, can be afforded to you. So with that said, we here at the point are trying to make ways where if conservative values come to fruition, we want blacks, whites, women, men, Native Americans, Asians to have their own home and to afford their own home. Because that is like apple pie in baseball, home ownership. So we want this, but we feel that the liberals out there are messing everything up because they're giving to those folks that can't afford it. And so you have a house of cards coming down. But lastly, America, you can hear me all day, but I'm a capitalist, and I'm here to promote playing cards, political playing cards between now and February before I come out with a new deck. These decks are called Battle 2010, Liberals versus Conservatives. Check out my website, $7.95 for one, $12.95 for both, and monies go to charity. Until then, God bless you, America.